How's it going, everybody? This is Master. I'm just trying to show you guys some differences in DOA dimensions compared to DOA4. I've talked to a couple players, and I've noticed that some of the top players don't have the game, and the more knowledgeable players are not really messing with the game because they just don't have it, as far as I know. But I want to tell you some differences because I hear other players, not necessarily that they're not knowledgeable players, but they're not as knowledgeable as the top players, and are not doing the right experimenting in certain situations. So I'm gonna tell you one thing right here, and that is DOA Dimensions is definitely not like DOA4. I mean, I have to give Team Ninja really mad props on that because they're geniuses. The way they handle it is just it's incredible how there's so many changes in this handheld. And granted, we all wish it was on a console, at least that's downloadable or something, but that's besides the point here right now because there's some changes I'm going to explain to you really quickly. I wanted to touch on the hold because I want to let everybody know that the hold is definitely not one of the better options in this game. It's not the same, besides the game not being the same, period. But I'm going to show you some quick differences. Right now I'm using Hayate. I picked Hayate compared to all the other characters because of he's more like the rest of the characters in the sense of how their hold damage is. Each character is going to vary a little bit. Bosses, Hayabusa, just different characters with different special holds, advanced holds and stuff like that. But this guy is pretty neutral for the most part. I'm going to show you what his high counter is, high counter hold damage is, and I want to briefly just say that that they all been toned down, and the high counter hold is harder to execute. I just did it right there. His mid punch hold gave him 72. In the past, they used to give him like 80 something, 84, somewhere around that. So they already lowered that. And that's just a regular one. 48. Nothing. That is nothing. Now, what they went ahead and did, and this is out of stun. Remember this. This is out of stun. Usually in DOA4, this is the damage you get when you're stunned. This is out of stun. He's not even stunned yet. And they decided to lower it even more when you're stunned. So let's do that real quick. That's just normal right there. 38 points. So anybody that be spamming holds, it's not going to get a whole lot of reward. So now I'm going to do, that was just the normal one in stun. I'm going to try to get the high counter. The high counter one is hard to get. Like I said, it's restricted to like the last 2 frames now. There you go. 57 on high counter. Right there. Not a whole lot of damage, I'll tell you that. On top of that, the cash throws have been toned down. High counter cash throw is 60 points on average, roughly. And this regular cash throws is 40 points. So it used to be like 45. Some characters already had it at 40 points, I think. But most characters were like 45s, 48s. Now it's just 40. It's been lowered. So anything dealing with the hold has been toned down completely. Period. Also, on top of that, if you don't already know, the hold window is shorter by 2 frames. Some people felt like that wasn't enough. I can clearly tell it's more than enough. But let me just show you real quick some minor differences. Okay, so I'm trying to keep this short as possible. So if you see here, if I go like this, jab, low hold. Now watch how long it's going to take him to get out of that. It's a lot longer, especially during stun. Out of stun is the same for the most part, with the exception of the window being shortened. But in stun, not a good option. I'll tell you that right now. Look how he's just there for a while. He's just not going to move. So yes, it's easier, the 3-point hold. Anybody can do it. Anybody can, try to abuse it. But let's just put it this way: nobody's gonna be wanting to abuse that. It's just a bad situation. You don't want to just spam a hold. And one thing I also wanted to point out is see, Team Ninja is really cool how they did this. I didn't notice this until the other day, and stuns now, like, so someone was asking about slow escaping. Slow escaping is the same. It's exactly the same. People can, mash. It's going to be harder to do on the D-pad. I'd probably recommend the analog just for slow escaping by itself, but play on the D-pad. But, whatever. People are going to play however they want to play, but that's just my recommendation. But what they did is, I think they noticed that slow escaping was a problem. They understood that, slow escaping is kind of hard. So, for example, this hit right here, on normal you see it like that, right? System down, it's pretty decent. I can still, get a move in or whatever, get a launch. It's all good. But here's the deal. Here's the difference. On counter hit, usually this move knocks down in the old DOA games. Now it doesn't. But anyway, it still knocks them down, right? Counter hit, still good. You get more damage, good stuff. But now, on high counter, someone's being foolish, whether it be them backdashing, jumping in the air, trying to throw you, whatever. They changed the stun. That's right. The stun is no longer the same as a sit-down stun. And this is why I say Team Ninja knew that slow escaping was a problem sometimes. Because what happens is, when you sit them down now, like that, they can't hold for a couple of frames now. Now they have less options. One, they can't hold for a while. And then even if they do hold, they're stunned. So they're going to sit there even longer. And if they want to slow escape, it's not going to be as easy as the previous stun I was doing. So it's now like they got to mash even harder, which makes it easier for me to launch. Here's another thing that's different. This is a key point right here. This is going to be more of a launching game. You want to launch. And you're not going to care because you're going to be like, I'm going to launch every single time. And if you hold me, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be, it's not even a slap in the wrist. It's more like, please stop. You know what I mean? it's not even, and it's not a bad thing. It's like people should only hold when, they know what's coming. And if they don't know what's coming, they should, they should be punished for it. Let me see here. Let me try to get what I need here. I'm going to go ahead and put them on a flat surface so people can kind of tell what's going on more. People can still hold off the walls. The get-up kicks are still, low, mid, and high, and I think special get-up ones. You can still beat out get-up kicks with certain moves or if you time it perfectly, so yeah, that's still available. The wall, people can still hold off the wall. But again, the hold is just not as strong anymore. And the damage revision is pretty high now, as you can see here. But anyway. So this is what I wanted to show you real quick. So let's say I stun you, right? I stun you, I launch, I get a decent launch, do my combo. Hold on, I didn't want to do that. Stun you, launch, bam, bam. Get my combo in. It's not going to get any higher than that, really. Even if I wanted to. So let's try to do it. That's probably as good as it's going to get. Now on counter hit, people don't understand this. I haven't talked about it. And I named this right when I got back from Japan. See, I stun and I launch you. Now you got the high counter hit launch. Now you got the counter hit launch. My mistake. Stun, launch, bam. Now you get that every time. Doesn't matter. You don't have to stun anymore. You don't have to stun again or anything. No, you just do that, bam. You get the combo every time. Of course, if you do it, without even stunning at first, without doing the 4-punch or whatever, you still get it either way. So, you're not losing anything. But I'm just letting you know that before you used to stun and then launch, and your launch was lowered. Now it's stun launch, and you didn't lose your launch. You just, added damage to it or took another risk or whatever, or you just try to stop them from doing a quick throw or something. Or you interrupted them and now you want to launch. You don't have to worry about it no more. You didn't lose your launch. You get it every single time. Similar to DOA2. Now let's say it's a high counter. Oh, well, before I go to high counter, I want you to see something real quick. And that is, the jabs. You see how the jab is? It's like a weird stun. And just like I said, people Tecmo realized that, slow escaping was a problem. At least a little bit. So on high counter, the jabs have that same stun. Someone tries to throw you, throw a jab, you get that stun, which is really hard to slow escape. If anybody that tries to slow escape can easily tell you. Anyway, so let's say I do that and launch. Now I got the highest launch every single time. Here's even better, just so you guys can understand how different this game is. Yeah, sure, you can hold off the wall, but you don't want to hold because the simple fact is the throw can get you. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. On the wall, just the simple fact that you're stunned and it's a high counter, if you get launched on the wall, it still counts as a stun and it's still part of your combo. So Stun him, launch, still get the whole combo. Look how much damage that was. 126. Normal life, that's half your health. You only had one option to hold. And even if you did hold, it would become too obvious, and I could just throw you and still get damage in. It goes for everything. It goes for including partitions, anything. Just wanted to get that out there. There's some more stuff I have to experiment. Something that you guys might be able to help me out with is these partitions things, these right here, these little things. When you knock people into them, you can't hold. It's like a wall. It's weird. It's like, I don't, like you can hold and you can slow escape still, but you have like 20 something frames before you can actually hold. So anybody else that's playing the game should really test that out, because if you can't hold right there for a while, man, peace to everybody that gets hit into those things. Anyway, that's it. Thought I should point that out. I have more stuff coming up, so check it out.